Okay, so this is a little bit unusual for me. People who paid close attention to my channel probably realize I don't normally do covers, and I certainly don't normally go into how to do them, like how to cover this, how to cover that. Uh, nothing wrong with that. That's just not my focus as an original singer-songwriter. Most of the music I'm putting out, is my own music or talking about how to do that kind of thing. But I got sucked into a narrative, and at this point, I'm 100% on board trying to help somebody do something. So what happened was, after an open stage that I went to, played a set, someone approached me and started by asking if I give guitar lessons, which at this time I do not. But in digging a little further, what came out was this kind of incredible Mission Impossible situation, which is 20 days from now, they need to play Taylor Swift's Love Story at a wedding. And while they own a guitar or co-own a guitar with their sister, they've maybe picked up a guitar, but they don't know how to play. They have, let's assume for the purposes of this video and exercise, zero guitar experience or skill. Really would like to be able to play this song at a wedding. Now, also for the purposes of this, because this is something I asked them, is how confident are you with your ability to sing that song? And they're very confident about that. So confident singer needs to accompany themselves on a guitar, go from kind of zero to hero in 20 days on Taylor Swift's Love Story. Can it be done? I think there's a chance, actually. I think that the fortune favors us a little bit with how this song is put together. So let's get in to how that could be done. Okay, first thing, strategy and sort of big picture. I expect this is going to take you an hour of practice a day to truly go from like zero to hero in 20 days playing a song in front of people, from nothing, from no skills. So block out some time and dedicate yourself to this purpose. It is hard. On the one hand, it is hard. You have to get some muscle memory. You got to do new physical skills. You got to get confident with a lot of things. There's a lot of moving pieces, and your brain's going to be swirling at first about, like, I got to do this. I got to keep track of. You got to keep track of several things at once. But then it clicks. It's not that hard. Lots of people do this. You're just accelerating the process quite a bit. Okay. Some things up front. Guitar, unlike piano, guitars can't be counted on to stay in tune from session to session. Every time you sit down to play a guitar, you need to tune it. So you need to get a tuner, or you need to get an app on your phone. There are other videos, maybe I'll make a video and link to it if I have time, about how to do it, how to just tune a guitar. What I mean is, you just got to get the open strings to the correct notes so that it sounds good, and when you fret the notes, it's what you expect that's going to come out. Anyway, tune the guitar every time. Probably as a beginner, it's going to take you a little bit of time. You need to give yourself some time. Like, for me, I would sit down. It might take me just a couple minutes to make sure guitar's in tune. If that, I could probably get a guitar in tune in a minute if it's close. If it's already close. Give yourself at least 20 minutes, 30 minutes. Figure out how long it takes you to tune the guitar, and make sure you give yourself plenty of time, because that is a deal breaker. If the guitar is out of tune, you're sunk. So learn to tune a guitar, get good at that. Always tune your guitar before you play. Okay, let's talk about the strategy. Okay, the strategy for how you're going to practice and like boot camp this thing. You have 20 days. You basically have 3 weeks. Week 1. So this song, one of the things that helps you, there are only 4 chords, and we're going to use some fake it versions of these chords that sound good, but aren't the most extensible versions that you'll use going forward with other songs. You'll have to kind of go back and learn the more generic versions of these chords, but we're going to use some good fake it versions of these chords that are easy to play, that don't have a lot of finger movement, but will sound good, will sound actually very good, and are fairly easy. You're just going to have to memorize or write down or get ready to somehow juggle them, like you sort of shuffle them different ways for the different sections of the song. So number one goal in first week is that for at least an hour a day, the first thing you've got to learn is how to play these 4 chords, what they are named, how to differentiate between them, like how to get your fingers on the board so that it's this one, it's that one, it's this one, it's that one. The 4 chords that you're going to have to use in different combinations to play the whole song. You're lucky there's just 4, and you're lucky that we can do some easy versions of these. That's going to get you a lot closer to the goal, but you've got to do the work to be able to play those 4 and to be able to switch between them in different combinations. Okay, that's sort of week. Don't take longer than you need to, but let's assume you're going to need to do a fairly big chunk of week 1 on that. Your overall goal here is you're confident singing it. Singing is going to lead the way. That's going to be what's in the spotlight. You're just going to very simply strum the chords as they change, and you're not going to worry about, for this exercise, not going to worry about the guitar needs to also be an equal partner in this. It will be completely fine if you just go strum and then sing. As long as it's in time and your singing sounds good, the strumming is just complementary. It's kind of icing on the cake. You can, as you go through this, if you get more confident, you can add a little bit to it, and I'll give you some options for what to do. But we're going to keep the strumming very simple. You're just going to make sure you change to the correct chord underneath your voice when the time is right. That's going to be our sort of end goal. I'm going to say something about how there's one tricky part of the recorded version of this song that we're probably going to skip. At the very end of the song, when she's doing the final chorus, she does what's called a modulation. In other words, she sings it here, and then it gets higher by a whole step. There's some tricky business to make that happen. It could be done, but it's going to double the amount of stuff you've got to learn how to do. You're going to either have to learn how to use a capo in a slick maneuver, to capo on at the 2nd fret and then slide the shape up and use the same shape, which is feasible and will bring the house down if you can nail that. Because they'll just feel for you sweet, you totally pull it off. They'll be pulling for you. Or you're going to have to slide the shape up and learn to kind of skip some of the open strings, because now the open strings are going to sound bad against the rest of the chord in some cases. I think the better version is, let's just not do that modulation and keep it in the same key till you're done. It's basically just making one little alteration to how the song goes, and you won't be accurate in that sense. But if you're practicing along with the song, you will notice, that final time through the chorus doesn't sound right anymore because she moved it, you didn't. All right, let's get down to what those 4 chords are. Okay, the 4 chords that we're going to use here are a D, and I'm going to give you a cheat sheet, or I'll put this in the description of the video for anyone else who's watching this. So we're not playing the bottom 2, which I'll call XX, because we're not playing those 2 strings. Okay, we are playing this open string, then a 2, 3, 2. Okay, that's one of our chords, is a D. Then we're simply going to move your pointer. So the 2, 3, 2 is, so you got the 0 here, this open string. Then it's your pointer finger on this 2, your ring finger on the 3, and your middle finger back behind on the bottom 2 here. I'm going to spend that much time on it because here's the next move. Take that pointer and put it up a string to this. This is what we're going to call an A. Okay, we bring this, so we go X0, 2, 0, 3, 2, and that's going to sound good. The next move, one more time, bring that pointer finger down here to it. So we're going X2, 0, 0, 3, 2. This is a form of a B minor. Now we're going to do a bad habit, but it's going to make this easy for you, which is that's a bad habit I do all the time. So take that, bad habits. You bring your thumb over onto the 3 here, okay, and your pointer is no longer involved. So we got 3. We're going to go 3x0032. This is a form of a G. So it doesn't matter if this all rings. Okay, that's a form of a G. What we're doing here is, and you'll hear it like in the little arpeggiating, I don't know if it's a banjo or it's a guitar, but they just have this D over the thing the whole time. You're going to take advantage of that because it sounds right to do that, whereas in many songs it would not sound right to do that. So those are the 4 chords. Again, it's a D, which is XX0232. Okay, XX, don't play this string, don't play this string. 0, play this open string. And then 2, the 2nd fret with your pointer. The 3, the 3rd fret with your ring finger. 2, the 2nd fret with your middle finger sort of clustered back behind. Okay? If this is unclear, just look up how to play a D chord, and then you'll see what I'm talking about. So we're going this, and then just your pointer starts coming down the strings. Boom. Except I'm having you do it with a thumb over, so you don't have to switch your fingers around. Okay, so those are the 4 chords. I'll put them in the description so you can look at them again. I'll maybe hand you a piece of paper, you the one person who's going to probably watch this video. Okay, now let's talk about the form and how it's different each section. Okay, the form of the song. This song is in a typical structure for songs, which musicians are familiar with, but for you, it may be the first time thinking about this. So there are 4 distinct parts of the song. In other words, there are 4 melodies which have 4 distinct chord patterns. In this case, we have the same 4 chords, but we're moving them into different order for different effect. And then those sections get like some new words at times. So what we've got an intro, which is the same as the chorus without any singing. We've got intro, verse, pre-chorus, chorus. Verse, and then again, second verse, pre-chorus, chorus. Bridge, so a brand new thing that only happens once. And then chorus to end it. So what are those sections? The intro it's going to sound the same as the chorus, except you don't sing. And then the verse is, we were both young. That's the first verse. So that section, that's a verse. I don't know this song well enough to tell you what the second verse is, but you do. So you'll know. Pre-chorus is the part that's like throwing pebbles. We're getting ready for the part that's always the same, which is Romeo Take Me. That's the chorus. The bridge is Tired of Waiting. And then we end with Romeo Take Me, the chorus again. Okay, so let's talk about what those sections are. So the intro and the chorus have the same chords in the same order. It goes D. I'm going to be a little fancy over here because I just can't help myself, but you're just going to go. And so one trick that I'd tell you as a singer, play the song in your head. Like that is your sort of click track, that's your metronome. Like as you are going along, make sure that you are thinking of like the recording in your head, that you're going along with it, even though you can't hear it. Like that's such a helpful thing to do. I take it for granted that that's how you would do something like this. You'd be thinking about how it should sound. You'd be playing along with the inaudible track in your head. Definitely do that. So you know that'll keep time for you because you'll hear the drums, you'll hear the banjo, the stuff that you're used to hearing. You'll hear it, and that'll help you keep it all coherent and cohesive and in time and sounding good. So again, you're not going to do a bunch of strumming because that's another skill you'd have to learn. Instead, you're just going to go. So it's the D to this A. So again, we're just walk that finger one string further up here. Then the B. Walking that finger one more time. Then thumb over. And you can kind of hear how that goes. So it's Romeo, take me. Da, 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 again, I don't know this song very well. I'm probably messing up. I'm probably doing the wrong pieces, but you know the song, and I'm right about what the chords are. But here we go. All right, so that's the intro and the chorus. Here's the verse. We were both young. Starts again on the D. XX 0232. But then bring the thumb over for the G. Then the B, which is the one that's furthest down here, X20032. Then the A, coming back. So X02032. Okay, that's the verse. Again, I'll put this in the description. You can get there. The pre-chorus, Throwing Pebbles, we do this sort of stepwise thing. We start with the thumb over the G. Then to the A, to the B, to the D, G, A, B, D. And then, you know the chorus. We just did it as the intro, but again, it's D, da, 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 the A, da, 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 da. Sorry, you're doing it as a thumb over. Okay, one more section, the bridge, which happens one time, the Tired of Waiting. After the second time through the chorus, got tired of waiting. I can't even remember how it goes because I'm that old. This one starts with the B, so X20032. Then it comes to the thumb over the G. D, A. So it's the same, that's, what a lucky thing that you only have to learn these 4 chords, and there's not a lot of hand movement. You don't have to learn 4 chords and move your hands, jumping around, getting them into the right shape. That's kind of part of the hard part of being a guitar player, is learning the shapes and making your hand immediately jump to the right shape in the right place. You have to do very little of that. So this is quite feasible. Okay, let's talk about the rest of the strategy. That's how to play it. I know that's not, since I don't know the song well, I'm not prepared to sit here and actually play the whole thing, but you are. You know how to sing it, and that's how you accompany yourself. So all you're doing here, again, is you're just going to strum it once where it changes, okay? Keep forgetting to do the thumb over for you. I do the thumb for all kinds of things. I do the thumb for mine. When I want to play an F, all kinds of, I use the thumb all the time, just not for that. For that, I flip my hand around, as you should, if you're a real guitarist, which clearly I'm a big fake. All right, let's do the rest of the strategy. Okay, so I know that's kind of a whirlwind. It's going to seem a little daunting, but this is, you totally got this. If you do an hour a day for the next 20 days, you will be able to fake this. So again, let's sort of focus in on exactly what your game plan is. If I were you, if I were in your position, you're a confident singer, you're going to lean into that. That is what's in the spotlight, is you singing this song. The guitar is just, it's kind of gravy. You need a little bit of it, but you don't need a lot. So it's just, you're just going to learn to do it, and you're going to learn to accompany yourself. Now, one thing about mistakes, plow through them. all these chords are so similar because they all have that sort of extension of the D on top. If you mess up and hit the wrong chord, it is not the end of the world. Keep going. You don't need to don't stop. Don't correct it. Keep going. Trust me, it sounded okay. And people don't care. What they want to care about is your singing, your vocal. So again, lean in, let them love how you're singing this song. Okay? Just put your heart into it, sing well. If you're singing with a microphone, I'm going to point you to, I have a different video with some pointers if you're not familiar with how to sing into a microphone the most effective way. Let me give you some separate pointers about that. But sing your heart out, and they're not going to care if you scrapped a couple chords along the way. It won't matter. So, first week, you got to learn those chords. You got to get used to tuning the guitar. You got to kind of and you need to put some time in because guitar hurts your fingers a little bit when you're new to it. You need to get some calluses on the ends of your fingers to kind of get comfortable. Otherwise, it can really kind of be uncomfortable, and you should expect that's going to happen. You need to press through that because your body will very quickly just toughen up and you'll be fine. So that first week, so step one, and don't, like I said, hey, if you nail getting the 4 chords down in the first 2 days, move on. By all means, get as many reps as you can on the next set of steps as well. So you learn the chords. You need to practice just what they are, how you're going to name them for yourself. Try to get aligned with how I've named them so that you can follow the example that I'm going to supply you with of how to do the steps of the structure. Listen, when you're not practicing guitar, listen to the song over and over and pay attention. Orient yourself to those pieces of the structure that I've told you about, so that you're thinking like a musician about the structure of the song. So you're okay, verse, I hear it. Verse, pre-chorus, chorus. I get what you're saying. It's verse, pre-chorus, chorus, verse, pre-chorus, chorus, bridge. Here's that bridge, that new thing. Here's that final chorus. Start hearing it like a musician would, that you're hearing the form of the song. Okay? Again, slowly, that is verse. So there's an intro, which is the same as the chorus, but no singing. Just kind of orients us to the key before the vocal comes in. Intro, then verse, pre-chorus, chorus. Verse 2, pre-chorus, chorus. Bridge, chorus. The chorus is going to always be the same. It's the catchiest part. It's the part that everybody knows, right? Pre-chorus kind of gets some momentum building up, and then we're going to hit that chorus. And the verse kind of tells the story. Moves on, same tune, new words. So you know this intuitively from listening to the song, but now listen to those pieces of the structure because you want to know what's coming next. Where am I going from here? For me, that's intuitive because almost all songs are structured in some version of that form. That's the most common form. Slight variations on that form are how most songs are put together that you hear. So you can lean on that, knowing where you're going. It's a little roadmap of what's next. What am I getting ready for? It's not a mystery. The pre-chorus is what's coming next, and I'm ready to switch the order of these chords. Okay, that was a little long. I'm sorry. The next thing you have to do after you've done that sort of learning the chords, familiarizing with the form, and also practice your singing. Nail it. Get ready to just, because the vocal has all the pressure. The vocal is carrying the burden. You can do it. You can totally nail this song. Nail it. But know it by heart. Know all the words, know all the little nuances, know it by heart, be ready to nail it, because your vocal will carry this guitar part. The guitar part doesn't matter. It's just kind of window dressing. It's just the thinnest version of this guitar part will be fine if you're nailing the vocal. So totally, you can do this, nail the vocal. The next thing you gotta do is you gotta put it all together. Okay? You've got to be able to play the song from tip to tail without mistakes. And you gotta, as you do that, when you make a mistake, at first, stop and recognize what the mistake was. For you, what I'm gonna, because you're on short, you have a short time frame, make a little note to yourself, keep a log. I make mistakes here. I make this mistake. I made this mistake here. I messed up the order of the chords in the pre-chorus, for instance. I wasn't ready to go to the chorus. I went to the wrong chord. I went to this instead of this. And if you're making the same mistake, and put a little tally, when that happens again. What you want to do is get to the point you can make it through this song error-free at least once. That'll be your first milepost. Hooray! Have a milkshake. I don't know, but then you want to make it through error-free more than once, so that you feel like, hey, I make it through error-free or nearly error-free every time. That's where you're ultimately headed. So you've got to practice doing this a bunch of times. That would be all of week 2 is just playing this song till you are sick of it, till it's coming out your ears. And then week 3, what I would want you to do is hit every open stage you possibly can and play this song. Just say, hey, I just want to play one song. I just want to play this one song, and do it in front of people. Because, although it doesn't seem like it would be, sitting up there and doing it in front of people makes a lot of people very nervous, and it has its own kind of thing. You just gotta work out the jitters, because the second you make a mistake in front of people, a lot of people just shut down and they come apart. You're gonna have to do a little bit of a crash course in performance. If you're not already a seasoned performer in some other way, if you're not already used to playing, performing in front of people, that part can be really terrifying for some people. It can be really disorienting for other people. It can take you back to almost square one in terms of all the things that are swirling around in your head. Because one of the things that's hard to do is to tune out those people. You got to just focus. When you're performing, the number one piece of advice I'd give you, if you're not a seasoned performer, and if you don't already know this, the number one piece of advice I give you is don't pay attention to them. Don't look at them. Don't start thinking, what are they thinking about this? They hate me, or they don't get it. She's not listening to me. Don't pay attention to them. Look over their heads, or just look at the page that you've brought with you. Pay attention to what you're doing. They don't care if you're making eye contact with them. They don't care. They don't need you to look at them. Nothing good will come from you doing that. In this case, I'm going to advise you very strongly, tune them out in whatever way you can, which starts with don't look at them, don't think about them. Focus on hearing yourself, and just you're doing your best version of the thing you've practiced, period. End of story. Go to open stages and practice that. Tune out that audience. Look at the page. Play your song. Get some repetitions doing that. I have a list of open stages in the area that's kept current in the description. There's a lot of them. Hit some. Go hit them. You can do this. Okay, so when it's all done, tell me how it went. So I'm pulling for you, and I'm sorry this is so long. I'll put chapter marks so that you can go to the parts that matter and skip this nonsense. But all right, good luck. You got this. Nail it. You can do it. And then hopefully later take real lessons from a real teacher who will unteach all the shortcuts that I just gave you and show you the real way to play, and you'll have a lifetime of playing great guitar and having fun. So, all right. Get to it. All right.